Part 78. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 771. Qin Feng naturally didn't know that those people behind him showed a fierce look, and he led the women into the secret realm. The king's secret realm is called Shenmue Dongtian. Although it is a secret realm, it looks like a small world. The secret realm is vast and boundless, with towering ancient trees and lush greenery, and it looks like a fairyland. Similarly, there are many opportunities and dangers here. Countless monks have gathered near the exit. They have organized some small stalls here. Many people gather here, with big forces as the foundation, to exchange goods. Some big forces send disciples here to use resources in exchange for the magic resources that people get from the secret realm. Here Qin Feng saw that the robber monks outside wanted to sell him stones for 100,000 spirit stones. Such stones are only sold for a few hundred spirit stones in the secret realm. You can imagine how much the monks outside are cheating people. Similarly, there are countless young monks who have been cheated here. They found that after entering this secret realm, such stones can basically be sold everywhere, far more than the previous spirit stones. Here, Qin Feng and his companions met many geniuses gathered by Lan Yu and others at the last gathering. They entered the secret realm first, and when they saw Qin Feng and his companions, they immediately surrounded them and greeted Qin Feng and his companions politely. Although they were also very powerful, they were slightly inferior to Qin Feng. Although their realm was higher than Qin Feng, their combat effectiveness could not be compared with Qin Feng. No one dared to be rude to Qin Feng. On the contrary, Qin Feng, the holy son of the Suzaku Holy Land, undoubtedly became the core of this secret realm operation. Everyone decided to respect Qin Feng. Similarly, if Qin Feng could win over these cultivators, then in the future, these people would become Qin Feng's most loyal allies in dominating the ancient world. But the premise is that these people can survive this trip to the secret realm, because Qin Feng felt that the danger of this king's secret realm was even greater than that of several secret realms he had encountered before. After a round of greetings, everyone began to move towards the secret realm. Soon after, they came to a mountain range, which was still on the periphery of the secret realm. Similarly, there are a large number of cultivators in this outer area. These people are not strong enough and dare not rashly go to the core area to seek resources. They cross mountains and ridges here to search for crystals and spiritual medicines. For some reason, after Qin Feng entered this area, he felt that the spiritual energy here was quite amazing. So he used his fiery eyes and found that there were many strange stones buried in the mountains. These stones were all shiny, and they were obviously the crystals that the cultivators outside wanted to force him to sell. There are too many of these crystals, which contain energy and can be recognized by the secret realm, but for cultivators, the effect is not great. However, Qin Feng still found some spiritual things in countless crystals. These few crystals can be called chalcedony. These chalcedony, with a faint energy, are submerged in countless crystals. If you want to get one, it is like looking for a needle in a haystack. However, more low-level monks were just looking for a needle in a haystack, looking for purer chalcedony from countless crystals. The amount of chalcedony here was not considerable, so Qin Feng led everyone to cross the mountains again and came to another mountain range. Countless monks gathered here as well. Just after they walked tens of thousands of meters, they suddenly found some strange creatures in the mountains. Just when Qin Feng wanted to investigate these creatures, panicked shouts suddenly came from a distance. "Run, it's the crystal beast!" In the distance, a group of monks panicked, they flew into the air and fled to the distance. Qin Feng and others immediately looked around after hearing this, and a silver-white color appeared in the mountains ahead. The number was so large that it was really astonishing. This was a group of silver-white squirrel-like crystal beasts, their eyes were red, and they looked fierce. This group of silver-white squirrel crystal beasts, holding small forks made of jade, rushed towards this area. This group of silver-white crystal beasts, their number is too terrifying, although the realm is not profound, but when they are united, the power they exert is really earth-shaking. These crystal beasts swooped down, like a silver wave, floating over the ground, and no grass grew wherever they passed. Here, countless cultivators saw these groups of silver-white squirrels, and they all flew into the air at the first time. Although these cultivators' cultivation is not weak, they know that they can't fight against such a large number of crystal beasts. At the first time, people flew into the air and wanted to escape from this place, but there were still a few cultivators who ran slowly and were instantly submerged, leaving no bones. Zhou Qing'er and others behind Qin Feng were all stunned. Originally, this seemingly harmless little life was so terrifying in this secret realm, and it was not easy to mess with it. Although their cultivation was only at the level of transformation, the gathering of such a number of crystal beasts was already on par with the princes. So scary. What's going on? Zhou Qing'er, Lan Yu, and others hid behind Qin Feng. They looked at the crystal beasts rushing in front of them in shock. Such a large number of crystal beasts was really too terrifying. Such cute creatures turned into killing gods at this time, which made their faces full of shock. Qin Feng frowned. He felt an inexplicable magic from these crystal beasts. These crystal beasts seemed to be disturbed by some mysterious power, so they were so neat and in groups. Swish. Qin Feng used his fiery eyes to look at the silver-white beasts. He found that among the groups, some crystal beasts actually had the kind of chalcedony he had seen before. This kind of chalcedony gained energy and flowed in the bodies of these silver-white crystal beasts, which was the source of their power. So that's how it is. Qin Feng suddenly understood that in this secret realm, countless monsters devoured the energy on the crystals, so that the energy in their bodies accumulated deeper and deeper, and finally formed chalcedony. And these chalcedony gathered in the bodies of these crystal beasts and turned into tangible objects, which was their source of power. There must be some powerful monsters. After swallowing such crystal beasts, the chalcedony power gathered in their bodies will increase, forming a large range of crystals. Of course, if some crystal beasts died during the evolution process, the chalcedony in their bodies would be buried in the chaotic mountains, which is the chalcedony Qin Feng saw in those countless crystal stones. Swish. Qin Feng had a slight thought. He raised his hand to arrest a crystal beast, and of course found a trace of chalcedony in its body. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 772. And this chalcedony is only the size of a hair, which to Qin Feng is just a drop in the bucket and of little use. If he wants to improve his realm, he can only find those higher-level crystal beasts. Those higher-level crystal beasts, the chalcedony energy in their bodies can evolve Qin Feng's cultivation body. In his opinion, if it is the most powerful crystal beast in this secret realm, it should have been assimilated with the king's chalcedony, and that chalcedony is engraved with the king's runes. This is the foundation that allows monks in the realm of princes to realize their divine power and step into the realm of kings. This is the king's rune mentioned in this trip to the secret realm. Little monster, come on. Seeing such a large number of crystal beasts, Qin Feng felt that it was all in vain. He raised his hand slightly and released his dragon horse. In an instant, the dragon horse monster rose into the air. It opened its bloody mouth and swallowed up an extremely considerable amount of net profit in one go. The most precise energy of these crystal beasts was refined by the dragon horse, giving it a slight improvement in momentum. Boom! A large number of squirrel crystal beasts were swallowed up by the dragon and horse, causing a vacuum zone to form around Qin Feng and the others. In the distance, some monks who were still fleeing immediately recognized Qin Feng as their savior. They immediately gathered behind Qin Feng, hoping to get Qin Feng's protection. Similarly, this also attracted more crystal beasts to rush towards Qin Feng and the others. The number of silver crystal beasts was staggering. In this regard, the dragon and horse refused to accept anyone who came. Under the surprised gazes of everyone, it opened its mouth and swallowed countless crystal beasts at once. The chalcedony in these crystal beasts was refined by it, and the purest energy was swallowed up by it. As time went by, Longma's cultivation actually improved slightly, and it was all refined by it. Nearby, countless monks were stunned. This scene was really shocking. After all, for some powerful monks, they would not take action at all if they encountered such crystal beasts. Because even after killing it, the chalcedony energy obtained is too small. It is not as good as the chalcedony energy obtained by killing a crystal beast in the princely realm. And some low-level monks, after encountering such a huge crystal beast, can only run away, because they are far from opponents, and can only hunt some lone crystal beasts. However, Ryoma refused to accept anyone who came, and the terrifying progress of the devouring process was truly astonishing. After getting rid of all the crystal beasts here, Qin Feng and the others left here with Lan Yu and others under the shocked eyes. The countless crystal beasts that were originally gathered here just disappeared. It was simply too terrifying. After climbing over vast mountains, Qin Feng and the others came to a huge forest. This secret realm is called the Divine Wood Cave, also because there are countless towering giant trees in it. Some of these towering giant trees have realized the creation of heaven and earth and transformed into tree demons. If uninformed monks enter them, they are likely to become the tree demon's meal. Soon after moving forward for a while, Qin Feng and the others discovered the king here. It was a huge tree that was far more lush than the other trees around it. Qin Feng used his fiery eyes and discovered that there was a piece of chalcedony the size of a fist at the core of this sacred tree, and its cultivation had actually reached the realm of princes. At this moment, two teams of monks gathered around the tree demon. All of these monks were not ordinary people, and some of them had cultivation levels that were as high as the 7th level of the princes. The two waves of monks were fighting against each other because they both discovered the tree demon and wanted to take it as their own. "Your mother, we saw this chalcedony first." A monk on the side yelled and cursed loudly. They had a conflict, and the purpose was for the chalcedony at the core of the tree demon. Do you know what first come, first served means? We found this chalcedony first. There were also monks yelling and scolding on the other side. The two groups of monks were all very angry, and there were several strong men with hot tempers who wanted to take action if they disagreed. Qin Feng's eyes were sharp, and he realized that the tree demon was not as simple as it seemed on the surface. Although the opponent was injured, it was not something that these monks could easily surrender. "Maid, you are seeking death. Cao, how dare you take action, brothers?" The two pairs of monks had a disagreement, so they took action. Their murderous intent surged into the sky, and the waves of divine power spread out far away, as if they were determined to fight to the death. At this moment, the originally silent tree demon suddenly gave birth to a pair of human-like eyes, with a fierce light flashing in the eyes, and then, its branches crossed the void like a long dragon. Puff puff puff. In an instant, some of the monks who were fighting were unable to dodge and were penetrated on the spot. This scene really shocked the two groups of monks who were fighting. They were suspended in mid-air, stopped briefly, and looked at the tree demon in surprise. Originally, the tree demon had been injured by them, so they started fighting like this, but they didn't expect that the tree demon actually did it on purpose. At this time, it revealed its fangs like a monster. Swipe. The tree demon's branches danced wildly, and the terrifying branches crossed the void, cutting 4 more human monks in half on the spot. All the energy and blood in those monks were absorbed and refined by the tree demon. This scene was really terrifying. As a good young man, Qin Feng would naturally not rob these monks of their chalcedony. He would quietly wait for them to stop. Because he had seen that these people were far from being the tree demon's opponents, and they had already had the intention to retreat. So, he brought everyone here and said, "Everyone, If you don't want the tree demon's jade, then I will accept it with reluctance. Qin Feng came to the field, he stared at the two teams, and the monks who were originally on full alert and ready to escape were all shocked when they heard Qin Feng's voice. When they saw that Qin Feng, who was speaking, was only at the first level of the lords, and the cultivation of the dozens of people he brought was not too strong, they all shouted angrily. "Cao, where did you come from, kid? We are fighting to the death here, and you actually want to take advantage of the fishermen. You want to take down this tree demon with your strength, you really don't know how to live or die." At this moment, both teams of monks scolded, they paid a heavy price for the tree demon's jade. At this time, a team of people rushed out and wanted to rob them of their achievements. This was really too bullying. How could they agree? However, they also knew that the tree demon was very powerful. If they fought forcefully, they would be annihilated. You are obviously no match for this tree demon. I am just helping you. Qin Feng waved his hand speechlessly. He found that the tree demon's cultivation was at the 9th level of the lords. The strongest of the 20 or so cultivators in front of him was only at the 6th level of the lords. With their strength, if they wanted to take down this tree demon, they would have to pay a heavy price. At least half of these people had to die to take down this tree demon, and the premise was that the two teams had to share the same hatred of the enemy, otherwise they would be annihilated. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 773. The tree demon was dancing wildly, and the human monks in front of them actually regarded it as prey and threatened to eat it. This was completely treating it as a soft persimmon. However, seeing that these humans were not running away but arguing, it was happy to see such a result. In its opinion, there was only one end for these humans, that is, all of them would die. Just because you want to get the idea of chalcedony, you really don't know how to live or die. Well, we will give this tree demon to you and see how you die. The monks on the side found that Qin Feng's cultivation was only the first level of the princes, so they showed a disdainful sneer at the corners of their mouths. In their opinion, even themselves, who were the 6th level of the princes, were not the opponent of this tree demon, and the young man in front of them actually wanted to force himself to stand out, which was really unwise. What's more, at this time, they had already begun to have the intention to retreat. Qin Feng stood up at this time, just to help them stop the tree demon and buy time to escape. They said they were willing. When they were scolding Qin Feng, their souls were also watching the movements of the tree demon, and retreated to Qin Feng's back without a trace. The cultivators on the other side also had the same idea. After they saw their opponents give up the tree demon's jade, they also decided to give up. After all, they already knew at this time that the strength of this tree demon was far beyond their ability to deal with. This person stood up and wanted to stop the tree demon, which would only benefit them, not harm them. But they wanted to run, but the candle had no intention of letting them go. The branches of the tree demon crossed the void, and in an instant, it crossed like a giant python. The defense of the two teams of cultivators was like a joke in front of it. They were completely vulnerable and easily pierced by the branches of the tree demon. The tree demon was too fast. In the blink of an eye, 4 more cultivators were directly pierced through the eyebrows by it. All the blood was absorbed by the branches of the tree demon and turned into its purest energy. The remaining monks were all terrified, but they didn't care to argue with Qin Feng anymore, and all retreated behind Qin Feng. Suddenly, these people slapped Qin Feng and others, and a fierce gale came. The huge gale blew Qin Feng and the monks behind him. Everyone was careless and flew towards the tree monster involuntarily. Those people wanted Qin Feng and others to block the tree monster for them and buy time for them to escape. As for the life and death of Qin Feng and the monks of Low Realm behind him, They didn't care at all. Those Tianjiao didn't expect that these two teams of monks would be so shameless, but they were not panicked at all. Although their realm was not particularly high, they were all Tianjiao monks, all with extraordinary postures. In just a moment, countless magic weapons and weapons greeted the tree monster, and the power was overwhelming, drowning the tree monster. It was just a threshold and a mountain. Although these Tianjiao were extraordinary, they still couldn't cause great damage to the tree monster. The branches of the tree monster crossed the void and swept away countless magic weapons. However, there were many Tianjiao monks, and the magic weapons were brilliant and powerful, so they still caused some damage to the tree monster. Boom! This scene made Qin Feng very unhappy. This person actually wanted to use him and others as a shield. This was already a way to die. However, the most urgent thing was to solve the tree monster in front of him first, otherwise most of the monks who came with him would probably perish. He stood on the top of the 9 Forbidden Peak for the first time, and the Kinkan seal was directly shot out. The moon and the sun intertwined. Under the blessing of the 9 Forbidden, the blessing of hundreds of times the energy suddenly hit the crown of the tree monster. This attack was really too terrifying. Then, with the cover of countless magic weapons, it hit the crown of the tree monster and broke the crown of the tree monster on the spot. Ah! An extremely piercing long cry was heard, and the terrible sound effect spread, causing pain in the eardrums of many cultivators, who almost fell into the void. Fortunately, the tree demon was injured by Qin Feng, and its combat effectiveness was greatly reduced. No cultivators on Qin Feng's side died. However, some cultivators at lower levels also suffered blood and chi turmoil and were seriously injured. This scene was extremely terrifying. The tree demon was beaten very badly by Qin Feng and his men, and its combat effectiveness was less than 1/10 of what it was before. At this moment, the two teams of cultivators who were about to escape turned back. Many masters on Qin Feng's side attacked together and injured the tree demon. Moreover, many masters were injured by the tree demon's counterattack, which gave them hope. In their opinion, the injured tree demon and the injured Tianjiao and others could only surrender and wait for them to reap the benefits. Ha ha ha, kid, you actually want to snatch our chalcedony, you really overestimate your own abilities. Just because you think you can take the chalcedony for yourself, it's ridiculous. In the end, you just made wedding clothes for us. The remaining dozen monks on both sides were all boiling. They looked at Qin Feng and others with disdain and ridicule in their eyes. Brothers, this tree monster is no longer a threat. Kill all the men first, leave all the women, and then kill the tree monster. Someone from the two teams of monks made a suggestion. His cultivation reached the 6th level of the lords and he was the leader of one side. In an instant, he held a long knife in his hand and chopped towards Qin Feng fiercely. The leader of the other pair heard the words and rushed towards Qin Feng, holding a stone axe in his hand. The terrible power made the void tremble. These people made it clear that they wanted to destroy Qin Feng and the others, and they even wanted to take possession of the female cultivators brought by Qin Feng. There is no doubt that Nilin, who offended Qin Feng, already has a way to kill him. Act recklessly. A cold light bloomed in Qin Feng's eyes, and he took action directly. The Kinkan seal was extremely fierce, and the Taiyan and the sun hit the two of them. In just one breath, the leaders of the two pairs were directly shot into blood mist by Qin Feng, and disappeared in the void instantly. Hiss! This! The two pairs of monks all gasped. The two men who took action from Steel City were the most powerful leaders of their sect. However, these two people were completely defeated in front of Qin Feng. They didn't even have a chance to use their trump card. They were killed by Qin Feng in an instant. This was simply unbelievable. Senior, spare your life. Sir, we were wrong. These people were all panicked. The leader was no match for the opponent, which frightened them to death. All of you are really like tigers, leopards, and jackals, and you will only live to eat a handful of rice. Qin Feng glanced at them with his fiery eyes. There were more than a dozen monks on the other side. Although they were all in the domain of princes, to him, they were just a bunch of rabble. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 774. The rest of the monks in the two teams were all terrified. Just now, when their captain swept Qin Feng and others towards the tree monster, they did not stop him and even added fuel to the fire. Otherwise, it would be impossible to send all the people on Qin Feng's side to the tree monster. After all the monks on Qin Feng's side are geniuses. Although their combat effectiveness is not as good as those of the two teams of monks, they are numerous. If it weren't for the two teams of monks joining forces, it would be impossible to send Qin Feng and others to the tree monster with the strong wind they created. These people not only helped, but also were one of the instigators, so even if they begged for mercy at this time, Qin Feng would never have any mercy. Little monster, get rid of them. Qin Feng waved his hand. These people had a way to die, so there was no need to stay in the world. When Long Ma heard this, he moved and rushed towards the remaining dozen monks in an instant. Brothers, fight him. At this moment, everyone saw that Qin Feng had no intention of letting them go, and they knew that they could only fight to the death. So, they all took action, trying to kill Qin Feng's dragon horse and escape. However, they still ignored the powerful aura of the dragon horse, and a powerful energy spread from the dragon horse's body, which suddenly fell on the bodies of the dozen cultivators. For a moment, the fire cloud exploded on the spot, blasting the dozen cultivators into minced meat and floating in the void. Hiss. The nearby Tianjiao cultivators who came with Qin Feng were all refreshed. Qin Feng's mount was so terrifying that it bombed more than a dozen cultivators in the vassal domain with just one move. It was really powerful. Zhou Qingre and others were protected by Shang Qian, so they were fine. As for the others, they were not worried about their lives. Qin Feng waved his hand to refine some healing pills and asked them to distribute them to everyone. Then he came to the front of the tree demon, with amazing eyes, staring at the tree demon. Don't pretend, I know that my move just now did not hurt your origin, and after you refine those cultivators just now, you have reached the peak of the ninth heaven of the princes. Qin Feng showed a sneer at the corner of his mouth. The tree demon's talent was extremely amazing. In just a few breaths, it refined the blood and chi of those cultivators just now, pushing its own energy to the peak. Although it seemed that the crown of the tree was smashed by Qin Feng, its body demon soul shrank in the tree body and was not injured. Human, you know that you are just an ant to me, but you dare to be unreasonable to me, you are really looking for death. The tree demon's preaching was exposed, and he could no longer deceive the other party, so he stopped hiding it. Almost in the blink of an eye, the crown of the tree destroyed by Qin Feng became intact. Not only that, the originally towering tree demon body was transformed into about 10 feet, and the roots buried underground also turned into 2 big feet like humans, looking like a tree man more than 10 feet tall. This scene made the rest of the cultivators amazed, and many people were shocked. The tree demon could grow to such a level and become a demon that could transform into a human form. This was really terrible. Swish. Suddenly, the arm of the tree demon suddenly turned into a long green dragon, interweaving green light, piercing the void. As a ninth-level existence of the Lords, it has enough confidence. In its opinion, if it can't even deal with a cultivator of the first level of the Lords, then its years of practice will be in vain. Chilla. Qin Feng was fearless. In an instant, there was an extra Zhuexian sword in his hand, which shone with a golden luster and crossed the sky. At this time, the Juexian sword had already become a magic weapon of the middle level of the Celestial Immortal, and the material was cast with fairy gold, with terrifying power. The Phoenix Divine Form, combined with the use of the Absolute Immortal Sword, was extremely powerful, and the terrifying energy broke through the void. Boom! The Phoenix Divine Form was flowing with terrifying Phoenix Divine Fire, which made the sky distorted. This terrifying temperature, under the blessing of the Nine Forbidden, was extremely powerful. The huge phoenix made a long cry, with unimaginable power, and instantly submerged the tree monster. At this moment, countless strong men felt the power of the Phoenix Divine Flame, and they were all shocked. The power of this Phoenix Divine Flame was unimaginable. In the eyes of everyone's amazement, the tree monster was directly killed by Qin Feng, and it was directly ignited and burned into ashes. As Qin Feng killed the tree monster, a fist-sized chalcedony appeared on the spot. Qin Feng picked up the chalcedony with a thought. Moreover, after Qin Feng killed the tree monster, a scratch card appeared on the spot, which made Qin Feng feel refreshed. As his cultivation reached the realm of princes, the rate of scratch cards became very low. This time, after killing a tree demon, a star gold scratch card appeared, which was a pleasant surprise. Then, Qin Feng stepped forward to scratch it, and the system prompt sounded. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the star gold scratch card and obtaining 3 top-grade chalcedony. Listening to the system prompt sound, Qin Feng was greatly encouraged. The most precious thing in this secret realm trip was the unique chalcedony here. This chalcedony is very useful for the strong in the realm of princes, and the kingly runes contained in it can allow the cultivators of the 9th heaven of the princes to feel the power of the king, which is very precious. In Qin Feng's perception, the energy of this jade is enough to equal hundreds of top-grade spiritual pills. This is an extremely precious treasure. If he can get more of this jade in this secret realm, it will be enough to support his cultivation and reach the realm of the king. You must know that the energy Qin Feng needs is too vast. With the help of this jade, he can get twice the result with half the effort. Moreover, if he can get enough jade, Shang Qian's cultivation will enter the realm of the king. At that time, the combat power around him will be greatly increased. At this moment, Lan Yu and other cultivators who came with Qin Feng were all stunned. The extremely powerful tree demon was easily killed by Qin Feng, which really made them dry their mouths. At this time, 4 jades emitted infinite light in front of Qin Feng, which contained the energy of life essence gathering the world, and they were all extremely shocked. The temptation of this chalcedony is too strong. The energy contained in it, if they are given a few, is enough to let them break through the bottleneck at this time. But unfortunately, all these chalcedony were obtained by Qin Feng. They know that Qin Feng will never give them this chalcedony. After all, this chalcedony is extremely precious and is also a resource needed for the path of cultivation in the industry. Unless Qin Feng obtains more, it may be given to them. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 775. What was most strange to these people was that Qin Feng had only killed 1 tree demon, but he obtained 4 pieces of chalcedony. Does this mean that the number of chalcedony in these tree demons is actually different? This scene also gave them hope. If this continued, Qin Feng might reward them with some chalcedony after obtaining enough chalcedony, and they would benefit greatly at that time. However, some Tianjiao monks knew that if they just followed Qin Feng, the number of chalcedony they obtained would be very small. After all, Qin Feng was too strong. As long as Qin Feng took action, it would be impossible for them to get chalcedony under Qin Feng's hands. These people were all Tianjiao, and they were extremely conceited. After getting a lot of chalcedony in the tree demon, they could no longer stay. So, several monks with strong cultivation suggested that they wanted to act separately from Qin Feng and others, and agreed to meet at a place a few days later. Qin Feng thought about it and agreed. If he brought these people with him, it would not only affect the speed of himself and others, but also he had to distract himself to protect these people. It was indeed a burden to bring them with him. Since the other party took the initiative to propose, he agreed to it. These people were divided into 4 teams, each with about 20 people, all led by 2 powerful 4th-level princes. On Qin Feng and Shang Qian's side, there were Lan Yu and her followers, and more than a dozen people. Qi. Just as Qin Feng and his men were about to leave this place, suddenly, the void shook, and a towering ancient tree suddenly appeared in the chaotic mountains, blooming with brilliant divine brilliance. The roots on the ground glowed like spears and came towards Qin Feng to kill, with such powerful power. It must be said that the time chosen by the sneak attack guy was just right. It hid among many ancient trees and looked no different from ordinary trees. Until Qin Feng separated from the others and put away the chalcedony, the most relaxed moment, this tree demon suddenly attacked. Be careful! Opposite Qin Feng, Zhou Qing'er and others saw the scene and screamed loudly. Qin Feng felt like he was on edge. He was really careless. In his understanding, there shouldn't be another terrifying tree demon within the range of a tree demon. After all, such demons have a sense of territory and will not allow other tree demons to exist within their own territory. But the fact is not so. In the territory of this tree demon, there is actually another tree demon, and at this moment, it is attacking Qin Feng. Swish. In the first place, Qin Feng used the immovable God King to cover his body. At the same time, he suddenly turned around and swept forward with one palm. This palm, intertwined with the light of the moon and the sun, the Qin seal was swept out by him in the form of a palm print. Boom! The mountains shook. Qin Feng's attack was very powerful under the blessing of the 9 forbiddens, but it could not smash the body of the tree demon. Because at this moment, the tree demon was glowing all over, and it also turned into a body of about 10 feet like the previous tree demon, and its defense was also extremely amazing. The dozens of branches were like spears, and they hit Qin Feng like giant dragons. The terrible energy raged in the void, making the world tremble. This is a tree king, don't resist it forcefully. At this time, Lan Yu's protector, a powerful man of the 7th level of the lords, said loudly. At this time, his hair stood on end. He clearly felt that the strength of this tree demon was in the realm of the king. This was a terrible tree king. The tree demon that Qin Feng killed just now was probably the clone of this tree king. This kind of tree demon that has reached the realm of the tree king is extremely terrifying. The opponent has become a spirit and has extremely strong combat power. At this time, in order to avenge the destruction of the clone by Qin Feng, the combat power instantly soared. Swish! At this moment, Qin Feng held the Juexian sword and swung it forward. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, the huge sword light soared across the sky and cut off several branches at once. The branch fell to the ground and suddenly rolled over. Under the control of the tree king, it came in the air, as violent as a magic sword. All kinds of energy were glowing, and the king runes were flooding towards Qin Feng. The mountains in this area were shaking. So strong. Qin Feng's eyes were cold. The fighting power of this tree king was terrifyingly high, even more terrifying and fascinating than the previous clones. Qin Feng did not move the God King's shield. His light curtain blocked the branches outside his body and blocked countless king runes. However, the spreading storm raged in all directions, causing the mountains in this area to dance, and countless boulders swept across the sky, which was extremely fascinating. Human, you destroy my clone, die. At this moment, the tree king rose from the ground, and its realm was completely blossomed. The cultivation of the king's 3rd-grade domain was unknown. It was many times stronger than before. Its branches actively danced towards Qin Feng, and the huge branches crossed the void like a dragon. Qin Feng stepped on the thunder step and crossed the void in an instant. The branch hit a huge mountain with a bang, smashing the small mountain on the spot. Too scary. In the distance, Lan Yu and her followers were horrified. This tree king was really too scary. With just one blow, even a small mountain was flattened. This kind of combat power was really terrifying. Looking for death. Qin Feng's eyes were cold. This tree king was extremely scary, and its combat power was far stronger than he imagined. However, he was still fearless in the face of this tree king. Now his cultivation level was at the first level of the lords, and he was already able to kill the great king. Various means were enough to make him invincible. Seeing that Qin Feng actually underestimated it, the tree king was immediately angry. Its crown danced wildly, and leaves fell down in pieces, turning into countless thin swords in the void. These thin swords joined together, like a green river, sweeping across the sky, with dazzling light, extremely blazing. Boom! Qin Feng was extremely indifferent. He held the Juexian sword and threw it directly forward without dodging at all. The Juexian sword bloomed with brilliant light, and a huge phoenix flowed out terrifying divine flames. With the blessing of the Nine Forbiddens, a huge roar came from the void. Boom! The long river formed by the leaves of the tree king, surrounded by runes all over the sky, collided with Qin Feng's phoenix divine form, and completely submerged Qin Feng in an instant. In the distance, countless Tianjiao monks retreated instantly, and they could not hide their fear. This tree king was too terrifying. He used this killing technique right away, and countless king runes appeared, making this world completely restless. Lan Yu's follower and protector were frightened. In an instant, he pulled his young master up and fled. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 776. Qin Feng, who was enveloped by the King Rune, was quite surprised. The fighting power of this tree king was quite terrifying, and it posed a certain threat to his own protective light shield. Zhou Qing'er, Shang Qian, and others all focused their attention on Qin Feng, who was enveloped by the King Rune. They knew that Qin Feng was a natural talent and it was impossible for him to fall in such an attack. Qin Feng moved his body, stepped on the thunder step, and jumped out of the King Rune of the Tree King. The followers of Lan Yu in the distance were all stunned. They never thought that Qin Feng would escape from the hands of the king-level tree demon. Although they had heard a lot about Qin Feng and knew that he could resist the great king, they did not believe it. At this moment, Qin Feng rushed out of the rune of the king's power, which made them feel that the rumors were somewhat credible. They all stared at Qin Feng's figure, wanting to see if the other party could kill the great king as rumored. Lan Yu's eyes were shining. She stared at Qin Feng standing in the wind, her beautiful eyes full of surprise. Such a proud son of heaven, in the realm of the princes, fighting against the great king, it was dazzling. My cao, what happened? Just now there was an amazing divine light shining in the sky, it should be someone got the jade. In the distant sky, there were many cultivators, feeling the movement from the chaotic mountains here, they came from the sky and looked at this place. When people saw that a young cultivator was fighting against a tree king, they were all shocked. Using the realm of the princes to fight against a strong man like the tree king, this was absolutely vulnerable in their eyes. In their cognition, the terrifying existence of the great king could crush any cultivator in the realm of the princes. Although the young man was extraordinary in half a step, everyone thought that he could not compete with the tree king. Human, you can jump out of my king rune. No wonder you are so strong. Be prepared to bear my wrath. In the air, the tree king bloomed with emerald green light. The whole person was like an emerald green gem. As a human, it was extremely fast. It moved and rushed towards Qin Feng quickly. Rage. Haha, be careful not to set yourself on fire. Qin Feng was only surprised for a moment, and then he calmed down completely. He did not move the God King's body, and seemed quite calm. Swish. As Qin Feng's mind moved, a phoenix god appeared in front of him. The phoenix god, intertwined in the void, was transformed by the Juexian sword, releasing terrible power. Under the blessing of the 9 prohibitions, the energy blessing was almost 100 times, and a brilliant golden light bloomed between heaven and earth. For Qin Feng, this tree king of the 3rd level of the king was still vulnerable to him. His phoenix divine flame just restrained this kind of creature. Buzz. The void was trembling wildly, and the extreme meaning of the phoenix's divine flame made the tree king's eyes show horror. Although its cultivation was at the 3rd level of the great accomplishment king, feeling the power of the phoenix still made him feel a sense of fear. This was the fear from the depths of his soul. The pressure from the Juexian sword made him tremble with fear, and his soul could not stop trembling. Swish. In an instant, the phoenix's divine form collided with the tree demon's body, and the terrible temperature caused the void to twist violently. The aura surrounding the tree king was instantly destroyed, and it let out a piercing scream. Facing Qin Feng's terrible attack, even if it was in the realm of the great accomplishment king, it could not resist it at all. At this moment, the tree king's eyes showed horror, but it had lost the courage to fight. It knew that if it didn't run away now, it would not be able to escape again. The young man in front of him could not be judged by common sense. His innate magical power just restrained him. His combat power was far more than that of a vassal, and even exceeded that of a great king. Swish. In an instant, the seriously injured tree king made a decisive move. He escaped under the ground and tried to escape far away. However, at this time, the phoenix god had already locked the body of the tree king. Qin Feng had 6 immortal swords in his hand. The terrible sword energy swept across and instantly chopped the earth. Puff. Qin Feng used the God King's sword technique. The terrible sword light split the ground on the spot. The terrible sword energy acted on the tree king, and immediately cut off half of its body. As a strong man in the king's field, he could regenerate broken limbs, but the tree king found that he could not do it. There was a terrifying secret force near his wound, blocking his body from gathering. He could not care about his lower body and could only continue to escape far away under the ground. Because it knew that Qin Feng's phoenix flames were too terrifying, just restraining its body, and the opponent's immortal sword, which had such divine power, also completely shocked it. At this moment, the tree king knew that if he was in a single moment, he would have no choice but to die. Not far away, countless cultivators were all stunned. Qin Feng's strength shocked the whole audience. This kind of power made them dumbfounded. And the protector of Blue Moon couldn't believe what was happening in front of him. Qin Feng not only escaped from the king rune of the Tree King, but also changed his attack and directly took half of the Tree King's life. At this time, Qin Feng was delivering a fatal blow to the Tree King. Such a scene made them unbelievable. Puff. The 6 immortal swords swept the body of the Tree King, and the terrifying sword light fell from the sky and the earth, and the shocking sword energy cut the earth on the spot. With a boom, the sky and the earth trembled wildly, and the Tree King was cut into the core by Qin Feng's 6 immortal swords. Then, the Phoenix Divine Flame completely strangled the Tree King's spirit, leaving only its body torn into pieces. At this moment, under the illumination of Qin Feng's fiery eyes, he found 2 pieces of chalcedony deep in the ground. As his mind moved, he took the chalcedony in his hand through the air. The quality of this chalcedony was even more amazing than what he had obtained before. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth contained in it made Qin Feng feel comfortable all over. In the distance, countless cultivators looked at the 2 pieces of chalcedony in Qin Feng's hands, all of which showed greed in their eyes, but they did not dare to attack Qin Feng. The strength of the Tree King could not pose a threat to Qin Feng. If they went forward, they would probably die. Qin Feng put away the 2 pieces of chalcedony with his backhand, and moved to the side of Shang Qian and others. When they met the Tree King just now, Zhou Qing'er and the others were all protected by Shang Qian. They did not leave far away, and were outside the range of the power of the 2 people's battle, for fear of being affected. Several people have great confidence in Qin Feng, which forms a very sharp contrast with the protectors of Lan Yu and others. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will deal with it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 777. Lan Yu's mutual companions. The existence of the 2 princes in the 8th heaven. When encountering danger, they immediately flee far away. Shang Qian and others were not too far away from the battlefield of Qin Feng and the others. After the death of King Daqin, they instantly arrived in front of the body of King Daqin Tree King. As a Tree King whose cultivation has reached the realm of a great king, his whole body is filled with treasures. This tree trunk is also a rare weapon refining material. If used for construction, it also possesses inexplicable divine power. Lan Yu's followers and the 2 protectors beside her watched Qin Feng's women collect the precious medicine from the Tree King. Although they also wanted it very much, they were too embarrassed to go forward and ask for it. After all, when they were in danger just now, they clearly had the opportunity to protect Zhou Qing'er and others and take them away together. But they didn't do this. Instead, they just took away their entourage and Lan Yu, ignoring Qin Feng's woman. How could they have the face to get Qin Feng's loot now? It is true that Qin Feng's people do not need their protection, but this is an attitude. Therefore, Lan Yu and the 2 guardians of the prince's realm have no shame in asking for Qin Feng's spoils. However, the other followers don't think so. This Tree King is really too coveted for them. They can only get some leaves, but the spiritual energy contained in them can also be of infinite use to them. Miss, Qin Feng won't be able to use up such a big tree, so let's go pick some too. At this time, a maid beside Lan Yu said that this Tree King is a rare weapon refining material, and it contains the king's runes. Although it cannot be compared with chalcedony, it can also gain some insights into the strong men in the realm of princes, which makes it difficult for them not to be tempted. There were other followers on the side. After seeing that Lan Yu did not stop him, they thought that Lan Yu had agreed, so they also joined the team that harvested the body of the Tree King. When Qin Feng killed the Tree King just now, the Tree King's body was torn apart and flying everywhere. His soul had been completely killed by Qin Feng, but the kingly power on the Tree King's body had not dissipated. Soon, Lan Yu's 4 followers came to the section of the Tree King's body closest to them, with greed in their eyes. The bodies of these kings possess inexplicable divine powers. Although their souls have dissipated, if they can obtain the runes contained in them, it will be of great use to them. And even if they don't need it, it's still worth a fortune if sold. In the distance, Qin Feng watched Lan Yu's entourage come to collect the Tree King's torso, and a meaningful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Just when the 4 followers came to the front of the Tree King's torso, the torso that had clearly been killed by Qin Feng suddenly burst out with terrifying energy. In an instant, a follower walking at the front was blown away. The remaining 3 people were also blown away by the shockwave and fell in the mountains and forests, not knowing whether they were alive or dead. This scene was all of a sudden shocked. Everyone brought by Lan Yu also recovered from the surprise. After Qin Feng killed the tree demon just now, she was so surprised that her thoughts drifted far away, so she didn't know exactly what happened. When the maid on the side introduced what happened to Lan Yu frowned. Although it was a trip to the secret realm organized by them, everyone knew that Qin Feng was the most respected person during this trip to the secret realm. Qin Feng didn't say that he wanted to share the trunk of the Tree King with them, but they took the initiative to get it. They couldn't blame others for being injured by the power of the King Talisman. Uncle Qian, let's go see if they can be saved. Lan Yu frowned and said, as her words fell, one of the two guardians beside her moved and came to the front of the four followers. At this moment, he found that one of them was almost cold, and the other three had also suffered fatal injuries. They had already taken in more air and less out. The Taoist shook his head at Lan Yu. This scene made Lan Yu's heart sink. These four people were all her confidants. They had followed her for so long and had extremely deep feelings. She would be uneasy if she just watched them die like this. She also came to the side of these four monks and used the healing power she carried to save their lives. However, although her healing elixir was extremely precious, it could not bring these four people back. Such a scene made Lan Yu and everyone around her feel depressed. No one thought that this king-level powerhouse was so terrifying. Even after death, he still carried murderous intent. Ordinary monks simply couldn't bear it. Live. However, they also discovered that Qin Feng's woman could withstand the murderous intent of this king-level talisman. It was obvious that these people knew the murderous intent contained in it. In fact, this is not the case. Because they have the Ruyi treasure armor refined by Qin Feng, they are afraid of the king-level murderous aura. However, in the eyes of Lan Yu's followers, this scene meant that Qin Feng did not take the initiative to inform him of the king-level murderous intent of these people, which made Lan Yu's personal maid very angry. You clearly know that the body of this great king has murderous intentions, why didn't you warn us? Lan Yu's maid's voice was very angry. Those four people had worked and lived with her for such a long time and had extremely deep feelings. If she saw them die in front of her, it would make her very sad. Qin Feng, who was not far away, heard the words and showed a faint sneer at the corner of his mouth, saying, "This Tree King was killed by me, and the materials in this Tree King's body naturally belong to me, and you robbed it without my consent. I didn't blame you for my trophies, but you blame me." Qin Feng stared at maid Lan Yu coldly. To be honest, he had a healing elixir that could save the lives of these four girls, but why should he save them? You. Lan Yu's personal maid was speechless. She knew this was a fact, and her lady's protector did not say anything about saving Qin Feng's woman when she escaped just now. If the other party doesn't remind themselves that these people did nothing wrong, they can't blame Qin Feng at all. Mr. Qin, it was our fault just now. I hope you will respect me. At this time, Lan Yu stepped forward and saluted Qin Feng. She knew that Qin Feng had a particularly precious elixir that could save these people of hers. Moreover, it is indeed his own fault. If he blames Qin Feng and makes Qin Feng feel resentful, it may destroy the only trace of connection between them. This has nothing to do with you, I won't take it to heart. Qin Feng waved his hand. The two guardians were not at fault for taking Lan Yu away. Naturally, he would not blame the other party. However, this Tree King is his trophy, and he wants to share it with them out of affection. It is also your duty not to share it with them, but the other party must not take it by force without your consent. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 778. Lan Yu saw that Qin Feng's attitude softened. She knew that if there was a chance, as long as she could win the favor of the other party, she would be able to save her four followers. Master Qin, I know that you are a powerful alchemist. You must have a way to save them, right? Lan Yu's big eyes were watery and very smart. She looked at Qin Feng shyly, her beautiful eyes were as tender as water, and it seemed that even ice could melt. Well, why should I save them? With such eyes, Qin Feng felt a little uncomfortable. It was not worthwhile to save these three people for no reason and waste his own resources. He knew that the Lan family's properties were spread all over the eastern region of Yanbei. If they could win over Lan Yu, their help would greatly increase their chances of ending the fight against the assassin dynasty in the future. As long as Mr. Qin can save these 4 followers of mine, my Lan family is willing to agree to any of your conditions. Lan Yu bit her teeth lightly. At this moment, she thought a lot Qin Feng's talents will have a place in the ancient continent in the future. If they can climb onto Qin Feng's chariot, they will surely soar into the sky. Really? Including you? Qin Feng looked suspicious. Lan Yu's promise for these 4 followers was a bit big. Of course, a little girl's words are hard to follow. Lan Yu said categorically that after her contact with Qin Feng in the past few days, and the rumors about Qin Feng that she had found out using the power of the Lan family, she knows that Qin Feng hates evil as much as he hates enemies. He will repay those who are kind to Qin Feng twice as much, and for his enemies, he will use more terrifying means to retaliate against them. With such a being and such qualifications, the Lan family must not offend him. Moreover, as long as they can gain Qin Feng's relationship, their Lan family will be able to soar into the sky, and maybe they can do business throughout the entire ancient continent. The only shortcoming of the other party is that he is a bit lustful, but he will not force others to do anything. Moreover, he will not reach out to people he is not familiar with, but seems very reserved. Such a small shortcoming is nothing to an extremely strong person. Seeing Lan Yu acting like she was just following the stick after hitting the snake, Qin Feng suddenly felt a little weird. In this way, he seemed to be taking advantage of others' danger, and the 2 of them were not that familiar yet. If he made any bad demands to the other party at this moment, it would seem that he was going too far. What's more, although he talks a lot, he actually has no thoughts in that regard and just wants to tease the other person. When the other party got serious, he retreated a little. Not far away, Zuck Ching Cheng and others all had chuckles on their lips. They knew that when they took the initiative to take it seriously, Qin Feng would put away his bad thoughts. This was also the reason why Zhou Qing'er was very unhappy. Once she takes the initiative to seduce her little master, her master will run away, which is something that has always happened. Forget it, saving 1 life is better than building a 7-level pagoda. I will save your followers. We will discuss the conditions later. Qin Feng waved his hands silently, and as he thought, he took out countless elixirs in his space. These elixirs were refined by the divine fire flowing in his hands. As he used the magic technique, 4 healing elixirs were quickly condensed. Although the injuries of these 4 people were serious, they did not require Qin Feng to use the 9-turn resurrecting pill. However, ordinary healing pills of 5 or more turns were enough. As these 4 elixirs appeared between heaven and earth, all kinds of light changes suddenly bloomed, and 6 elixir patterns bloomed to create many strange phenomena. This bare-handed alchemy calmed Lan Yu's people on the spot, and even the 2 guardians beside her were dumbfounded. Refining alchemy with bare hands is extremely difficult for alchemy lord. Qin Feng did it in front of their eyes. How could they not be surprised? Moreover, what surprised many monks even more was that the other party made elixirs with his bare hands, which proved that the other party was an alchemy master. However, as we all know, if an alchemist devotes all his efforts to alchemy, then the level of cultivation will not exceed the limit. However, the other party, with his cultivation in the domain of princes, killed the Dachan king, which undoubtedly shows that the other party's combat power is also extremely terrifying, and his alchemy methods are also extremely astonishing. Such a person is simply the pride of heaven, and if word spreads, he will probably be overtaken by many holy places in the ancient continent. Of course they don't know that Qin Feng is the holy son of the Holy Land, just because Yanbei is too far away from here, and those who have inquired about Qin Feng's existence will naturally not associate him with him. As Lan Yu's 4 followers swallowed the elixir, their bodies were filled with brilliance, and soon their injuries were almost healed. What surprised people even more was that the cultivation of the 4 of them actually improved a lot, reaching the 8th level of formless heaven. Such a scene is really shocking. The elixir refined by Qin Feng with his bare hands can not only heal injuries, but can also improve his realm. He is truly a rare genius. Let me go. Who is this person? He is so amazing. This kind of existence will probably kill everyone in the Holy Land, right? Is he the holy son of the Qin clan's Holy Land? If the other party is just a casual cultivator, that would be really amazing. As long as the other party can be received into the Holy Land, I am afraid he can become the Holy Son immediately. Countless monks are talking about it. This kind of strength and talent will definitely be overtaken by major forces. People were all stunned. Many saints of the big forces in the east region of Nanling were famous and few people didn't know them. And they had never seen the young man in front of them. If he was not a saint hidden in the Holy Land, he would definitely become the target of many big forces. After killing the Tree King, no scratch card appeared, which made Qin Feng very unhappy. After doing all this, he took everyone away. Just after Qin Feng and his friends left, countless cultivators in the distant sky instantly occupied the chaotic mountains where Qin Feng and his friends fought. Because the king-level cultivators fell, but the various energies contained in their bodies were extremely precious treasures. Qin Feng and his friends only took away most of the trunks, and in some piles of rocks, there were still countless branches and leaves and the essence of the sacred trees. As long as they could get some, they would also benefit a lot for low-level cultivators like them. After Qin Feng and the others left, most of the cultivators plundered the area, even the roots and hair of the Tree King. Qin Feng naturally didn't know the situation here. He brought Lan Yu, Zhou Qing'er and others to look for jade from the Shenmue cave heaven again. The energy of these jades is amazing. If they can get enough, they can make a brilliant evolution. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 779. There is a group of mountains ahead, with ancient trees and a large number of terrifying monsters. Not only that, Qin Feng also saw countless amazing Tianjiao monks, united together, constantly circling around this area. Obviously, there are precious secret treasures here. However, those monks all concealed their auras on the periphery, obviously afraid of alarming the large number of monsters in the mountain area. The most important thing in the mountains is a huge sacred tree. The sacred tree is brilliant and looks more terrifying than the Tree King that Qin Feng killed before. What are these people doing here? Don't they want to kill that sacred tree? Zhou Qing'er and others were shocked. The sacred tree was very terrifying at first glance. If these people angered the sacred tree, they would probably die without a burial place. Lan Yu, Qin Feng, and others hid aside and observed for 2 hours, and eavesdropped on the conversations of some monks from time to time. Finally, they understood the root of the matter. It turns out that the sacred tree of the King realm is the foundation for entering the second level of the secret realm. The other party is guarding the gate. If you want to enter the second level, you must first pass the sacred tree. However, the sacred tree is extremely terrifying. Many masters have been killed by it. Therefore, although countless strong men have gathered together, they still dare not challenge the sacred tree. Oh, Master, look, there is a small tree there. At this time, Longma exclaimed, and his eyes were extremely amazing. At this time, he saw a small tree about 3 feet high next to the sacred tree. The small tree was shining brightly, staying not far from the sacred tree, flowing with endless rays of light, all gathered by the sacred tree. Just like this, it was not enough to surprise Longma. The reason why he was shocked was that the small tree was actually transformed from a whole piece of chalcedony. The energy flowing out of the chalcedony tree surrounded this place, turning this cave into a secret realm of the immortal mansion. It is the core of the first level of this secret realm. The energy contained in it is enough to match the hundreds of pieces of top-grade chalcedony that Qin Feng got. How could he not be surprised by such a scene? Moreover, Qin Feng had a sharp eye and he also saw the small tree with a brilliant glow. If he could get that small tree, Qin Feng thought it would be very likely to allow his realm to directly break through the third heaven. Moreover, he felt that with the king rune engraved on this small tree, the energy contained in it was enough to make Shang Qian a great king. Such a treasure was really surprising. What's wrong with a small tree? Lan Yu, Zhou Qing'er and others did not have the same look as Qin Feng and Long Ma. They all did not understand why Long Ma was so shocked. After hearing Long Ma explain that the small tree was transformed from a whole piece of chalcedony, everyone was stunned. A small tree transformed from jade, which made everyone's eyes light up. This is a top-grade treasure, even better than ordinary immortal medicine. No wonder so many monsters and so many strong men gathered here. The attraction of the small tree alone made many people covet it. A group of ants hiding their heads and tails, looking for death. At this time, the huge sacred tree in the distance sent out a divine thought, and then a branch crossed the void like a blue dragon. Under the sweep of the branch, the extreme monster was directly blasted into the void and turned into meat paste. This scene made the other cultivators who were originally ready to move give up their ideas, but the small tree and the second-level portal all shocked people. Although several strong men were killed on the spot, there were still countless cultivators rushing here to join in the fun. As more and more strong men gathered here, the place was boiling, and countless cultivators found the small tree in this area. The energy contained in the small tree was extremely pure, which really made people greedy. It's actually a tree-shaped chalcedony. This chalcedony is extremely rare. If it is obtained by a strong man in the ninth heaven of the princes, he will definitely become a master in the king's realm. It's just that it's extremely difficult to get this chalcedony. The guardian is probably the king's tree, a wood king. Unless a strong man in the king's realm takes action, we can only join in the fun. There were countless discussions in the crowd, and strong men gathered here from time to time, looking at the small tree, the door, and the wood king. Seeing so many human cultivators talking loudly, the wood king was immediately very dissatisfied. Its cold mind spread, saying, "A group of ants dare to have the idea of the immortal tree, all die." On the body of the wood king, a tremendous momentum was released, and its cultivation was surprisingly in the fourth level of the great king. This terrifying pressure radiated in all directions, causing the cultivators who were originally preparing to approach to stop one after another. The pressure from the red pit spread out, and even the strong ones who had reached the realm of the lords could not bear it, and their bodies were shaking like sieves. At this time, the only ones who could stand here were Qin Feng and his group, as well as some beings in the ninth heaven of the lords. Swoosh! At this moment, dozens of figures flew in the sky, floating above the sacred tree, with ecstasy in their eyes. The leader, whose cultivation was at the ninth heaven of the lords, was Li Tian from the Luo Holy Land. This person was the pride of the Luo Pavilion. When Qin Feng and his group entered the secret realm, the other party was slapped by the Luo Venerable because he made things difficult for Qin Feng, which made him resentful. As a genius of Luo Pavilion, he was on the list of Luo Pavilion. This time, he joined forces with the geniuses of many major forces to form a powerful team. After they entered the secret realm, they were invincible and soon obtained countless chalcedony. At this time, their confidence swelled and they were ready to enter the second level. When they saw the small tree, greed suddenly appeared in their eyes. "Oh my God, it's Li Tian, the genius of Luo Pavilion." It is rumored that the other party is second only to Li Luan, the young master of Luo Pavilion, and his strength is simply terrifying. The people beside him are also the pride of the Holy Land. It is said that the son of the Holy Land has the means to reverse the immortals. Can they really defeat the Wood King of the fourth heaven? A series of discussions came, and people all cast their eyes on Li Tian in the sky. There is no doubt that Li Tian has become the most eye-catching strong man on the scene. As a genius of Luo Pavilion in the Holy Land, he deliberately mixed into the law enforcement team just because he wanted to vent his anger for Li Luan, and wanted to make trouble for Qin Feng. Unexpectedly, the opponent turned out to be the Holy Son of the White Tiger Holy Land, who caused him to be slapped, which made him resentful. After entering the secret realm, he learned from some monks that Bai Ye, the Holy Son of the White Tiger Holy Land, had returned to Nanling. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 780. This news made Li Tian very angry. He knew that he had been deceived, and the slap that his lord slapped him was completely unwarranted. As the genius of Luo Pavilion, he is also a god, and he has full confidence in himself. He once killed a demon beast in the realm of princes, which gave him the ability to reversely defeat immortals and discover. Facing this Wood King, he seemed confident. It's not easy for you, Dryad, to have such a level of cultivation. I advise you to retreat immediately, lest all your Taoism will be wiped out. Li Tian was extremely calm. His eyes scanned the Wood King in front of him, revealing a kind of majesty in his eyes. It's interesting that a mere human monk from the 9th layer can be so arrogant. The Wood King was shaken all over, with strong murderous intent in his eyes. His huge body stood among the mountains and forests, bursting with violent pressure. Although the human monk in front of him was extraordinary, he was not incapable of fighting. What's more, the realm of kings can crush the strong men in the realm of princes, so it doesn't care at all. Young master, I can take care of a tree demon. At this time, a middle-aged man stood next to Li Tian. He was the protector of Li Tian and his group, and his cultivation had reached the first level of a king. As the genius of their Li Fire kingdom, Li Tian will grow up in the future and enable them to dominate the Li Fire Pavilion. During this trip to the secret realm, Li Tian must not fall here. Therefore, Luo Pavilion selected strong men as their protectors to protect their journey to the secret realm. Similarly, Li Luan, as the young master, is also accompanied by protectors of the Dachshund King level. As one of the holy places in Nanling, Luo Pavilion naturally has such a foundation. This is their holy place, and the foundation accumulated over tens of thousands of years is unfathomable. Okay, then it's hard work. Li Tian nodded. The elder beside him was a master of their lineage. To deal with the Wood King in front of him, he was indeed the best choice. Although the opponent's qualifications and reputation are slightly lower than those of Venerable Luo, his combat effectiveness is not much weaker than the opponent's. Brush. When the elder from Luo Pavilion heard this, he moved in an instant and came to the front of King Mu. The terrifying King Wea appeared on him, and they fought instantly. Seeing that the other party was a first-grade king, the Wood King did not dare to be careless. Its huge body transformed into a human form, suspended in the void, surrounded by green light, which was extremely dazzling. Tisk, 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 it's really hopeless. Qin Feng below recognized Li Tian when he first appeared. At this moment, he saw the opponent's protector preparing to fight the Wood King, so he directly taunted him. In his opinion, the cultivation level of this Wood King is among the 4th-grade kings. Although the venerable one from Luo Pavilion is a first-grade king, he is far from being the opponent of the Wood King. If he dares to show his strength at this time, he is afraid that there is only a dead end. What do you mean, boy? When the elder of Luo Pavilion heard this, a sharp edge appeared in his eyes. The boy below actually dared to laugh at him. Could it be that he didn't want to live? You are no good. You are no match for this Wood King. Qin Feng's voice spoke at an inappropriate time, and as soon as his words fell, countless eyes around him focused on him. After they discovered that Qin Feng's cultivation level was only the first level of the princes, everyone twitched their mouths. A monk from the first level of the princes said that a strong man in the realm of kings was not good enough. This made people almost think that they had heard wrong. Let me go, this young man really has no martial ethics. The opponent, who is a mere prince with a first-level cultivation, dares to be unreasonable to the Dachan king. Is he not a fool? People all sneered. In their opinion, Qin Feng, who was ranked first in the realm of princes and was not even their opponent, actually tried to point out a king, which really made people laugh. I'm not his opponent, are you? The venerable person in Luo Pavilion was strange, his eyes were full of contempt, and he didn't take Qin Feng seriously at all. In his opinion, the other party was just trying to impress people, and daring to criticize a king was simply seeking death. Since I said that, I am sure that I can defeat the Wood King. I am just kind-hearted and want to save you. Qin Feng smiled and said that he was not planning to take action, he was just telling a fact. If the Dachan king of Luo Pavilion in front of him insists on fighting the Wood King, he will probably die miserably. It turns out it's you, how come you're the one who is able to point fingers at our strong men from Luo Pavilion? At this time, Li Tian saw Qin Feng below, he landed, looked sideways at Qin Feng and shouted. Not long ago, he was slapped because of Qin Feng, and he had always held a grudge. Now he met the real owner, which made his eyes show crazy murderous intent. You know him? Lord Licky asked strangely. It seemed that the two of them were not dealing with each other. So, Li Tian introduced the protector in front of him about what happened in front of the portal. The other party dared to pretend to be the Holy Son of the White Tiger Holy Land. He was really audacious. Boy, pretending to be the Holy Son of the White Tiger Holy Land, I will deal with you later. The venerable Luo Pavilion heard the words strangely, with a sneer on his lips, and a cold light flashed deep in his eyes. He really wanted to slap Qin Feng to death, but after he saw the powerful men from the 8th level of the princes beside Qin Feng, he knew that it would take a lot of effort to kill him. The most urgent task at hand was to deal with the Wood King, so he decided to deal with the Wood King first, and then get rid of Qin Feng, to vent his anger on his genius. Qin Feng saw that the other party refused to persuade him. He shook his head speechlessly and took a few steps back. Since the other party was rushing to die, he had nothing to say. Boy, open your eyes and see clearly. How can you understand a master in the realm of kings? With a strange and arrogant attitude, he held a fairy sword and pointed it diagonally at the sacred tree. As the venerable leader of Luo Pavilion, although he only has the realm of a first-class king, human kings are far superior to ordinary demon kings due to their skills and divine body, so he seems to be confident. Base. As Lord Licky waved his hand, the sword in his hand burst out with bright golden light, and a powerful sword intention made his whole person completely different. The coercion of the bizarre king's domain radiated to all directions, and the sword intention bloomed in the void, turning into a sharp sword. Under his urging, he greeted the Wood King, and ripples were heard in the void. Welcome. The Wood King, who was already impatient with waiting, sneered, and the fierce king's sword intent also bloomed from its body. A green long sword appeared in the void, its power was just as powerful as the bizarre sword light. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target. Type, mix.